Have you ever looked up into the night sky and thought, man, I like the look of that black hole? No, of course you haven't, because you can't actually see a black hole, right? Black holes aren't visible to the naked eye because they absorb all light, at least any light that's being directly pointed at them. So no light will pass through it. With that being said, black holes are so massive that they have a huge gravitational pull. So light that's not pointed directly at them will actually bend around the black hole. So given that, since we can't actually see them, the way that we know they're there is by looking at distant stars and distant galaxies that are emitting light and actually tracking to see when they disappear. We actually tell that a black hole exists and where they are located by waiting until they pass in front of the star, and then you can no longer see the star, but you'll see a distortion of its light going around the black hole. But how are they formed? Black holes are most commonly formed when the center of a very massive star collapses in on itself. Supermassive black holes are a little bit different. Scientists believe that supermassive black holes were formed at the same time of the galaxy that they are located in. Okay, but how long do they last? Well, while it was initially thought that black holes may last forever, Stephen Hawking postulated that black holes emit a radiation and thus would evaporate over time. Hawking was shown to be correct, and this form of radiation is called Hawking radiation now. However, even with Hawking radiation, it still take around 10 to the 67th power to evaporate a black hole with the approximate size of our sun. So it's a very long time. Alright, so how big can black holes get? Well, every galaxy has a supermassive black hole at its center. In fact, sometimes when galaxies are too close together, their supermassive black holes can actually combine to form one even larger supermassive black hole. These supermassive black holes are too big to even estimate the size of. You couldn't fathom how large they are, so massive is the answer. Alright, so now on to the good stuff. Will our sun ever become a black hole? The answer is no. Our sun is not large enough, it's not massive enough to become a black hole. It will expand and become a red giant, and then it'll cool off as a white dwarf and end its life at that point. Further, could a black hole ever destroy Earth? Theoretically, yes, a black hole could destroy the Earth, but the chances of doing so are very slim. Black holes do abide by the laws of gravity, so they can't just float around and suck up everything in their paths. A black hole that were to suck up the Earth would have to come extremely or very close to our solar system, and that sort of thing just isn't very likely to happen. So there's really nothing to worry about as far as black holes go. We can study them from a distance and understand that they are a part of nature, or a part of the universe at least, and a pretty cool one at that.